Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And it's another one from Oliver's. It's another one from Oliver's. And we've gone trad. We've gone very trad, because it's Oliver's Fine Cider, traditional dry. Traditional dry. Doesn't say anything on the bottle about it, except it's 6.5%. Traditional dry, still, fine cider, made by Tom Oliver of Oakle Picard. I never know how to pronounce that exactly, but never mind. Yes, so I guess this is a true farmhouse style cider, if you like. So what am I expecting? Well, I'm expecting it to be a blend of, well, I expect it to be amber in colour, still, but I already said that. But that's what I would have guessed anyway. Bit of sweets, bit of sharps. So I expect it to be properly dry. I expect it to have some tannin, soft and hard, so stringency, and some leatheriness, some bitterness on the back. I expect it to have acidity, because that's typical of these styles of cider. I believe they made it really acid, or added acid apples, to help preserve the juice prior to the fermentation, prior to the alcohol coming in, which is also a preservative. And I think sometimes that could then go through from malic to lactic acid, so soften. It's half as acid lactic than malic. So if it softens, much less acidic. But I'm expecting all those things anyway. Let's open it and try it. This is 500ml, this bottle. Yes, it is. No pop, because it's still, look at that, nothing. So we're going to get something nice and amber. Thought I could smell it there for a second already. Let's pour it into this glass. So it has got an amber colour to it, absolutely. Not as dark as I thought it would be, but it's hazy, as we would imagine. Now I assume this is just fermented to dry with wild yeast. That's it. Don't know if it's been in oak, or if it's been in steel. Let's assume, well, it's traditional. Traditionally it would be in oak, but it might be in steel. Don't know the answer. Anyway, where's my thingamajig? Let's look at it properly. There you go. So it's got an amber colour, hasn't it? Yeah. It's a lightish amber, but it's amber nonetheless, with a lovely haze. It's unfiltered, as already mentioned. I smell it. Yeah, so it's got acidity, absolutely, totally, obviously. What is that smell? There's a hint of sort of sweated apple to it. There's like a skin-like aroma, but something there very obvious, and I cannot immediately tell you what it is. It smells like, it's going to sound weird. It smells to me a bit like sausages with like brown sauce or something like that. Yeah, there's something that's made me think of like some sort of breakfast thing with like sauce. It's like, it sounds like bacon and sausage with brown sauce or something like that, which is well, right out of your left field. Yeah, no, there is. I want to say egg. I don't mean like sulphurous, sort of stinky. I mean like a lovely sort of breakfast, sort of smelling egg, but with something meaty as well, like a sausage, and some brown sauce. That's sorry to keep repeating myself. I keep trying to think of something else to say, and every time I smell it, I can't. That's what it's making me think of. Sorry, nobody else in the world might get that, but that's where my brain's going. These things are subjective. But it certainly smells interesting. In a good way. In a good way. Let's try it. Will it taste like a breakfast? That would be amazing. Okay. So, it's not a breakfast cider on the palate. It's doing exactly what I thought it would do, pretty much. Astringency on the teeth, absolutely. Not too heavy on the hard tannins actually on the back. Maybe it's like the merest suggestion. Quite bold acidity though. Mouth watering. Absolutely. And it feels malic, the acidity. That's what it feels like to me. So green. This is like, oh gosh, imagine having, what's the best way to describe it? Apple pie filling with no sugar whatsoever. It's kind of like that. That's kind of where my brain's going, but it's got tannin. Yeah. Yeah. Hints of kind of stone fruit, but as I say a lot, the pit out of the stone fruit. So take something like, I don't know, I want to say nectarine rather than peach, because I think it's more sour than a peach. And the pit from that, it's kind of got that characteristic about it as well. This is a proper dry cider. Okay, if you like sweet ciders, or you're used to commercial ciders, this is going to test you to some degree. It's not fizzy, it has no sugar in it, it's quite acid, and it has tannin. Yep, that's what surprises people, let's say, when they've never had a proper cider and they have something like this. Although I've had much harsher examples than this, with more acetic character. This doesn't have any acetic character. And much harsher tannins as well. Much more leathery, like sucking on an old leather belt or something. Or licking a tobacco, kind of that kind of bitterness to it, you know. This doesn't have that. But that nose is, there's something about that nose that makes me think of a cooked breakfast. I don't know why, but it does. It does. There you go. That's a good thing about cider and perry. You always get surprised. You always get surprised by these things. Yeah. We like. That is a good introduction to a dry farmhouse cider. And we like. It's good. I think it needs food, however. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say cheese. Cheese. That's what you want. A hard cheese. Doesn't have to be English, although a great Somerset cheddar or a great cheddar would be fab. Obvs. But I always think things like Alpine cheeses, like Gruyere, Comté, stuff like that, because they have sweetness. They have fats, which is what you want, with that dense fattiness. But it's got sweetness as well, which goes great with the acidity. It's like sweet and sour. It's brilliant balancing act. It's great. So yeah, I'd love to try this with a piece of like really aged, crunchy Gruyere. That would be superb, methinks. But farmhouse cheddar as well. Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me in my cider shed. I hope you join me again. But until that time, cheers.